Hello and welcome to the Mind Body Power membership training today. This is Cynthia Sumner, owner and founder of Healing Leaf. Just a reminder of, in case you're new to these the weekly membership, if you just barely signed up, my mission for my company is about 5 years old. I've been doing this work for 15 years, and I did it for a long time, just as a service, and then realized, hey, this would be a great way to replace my income and support myself while helping other people. It really is a dream job. The exchange for other people to be able to pay and invest in themselves is so rewarding for them because it helps them to be able to take that step to investing in themselves and then in turn to learn and change their lives. It's so exciting. So my company mission is to support and educate individuals, families, and businesses to heal from the inside out, to get the support and education they need to heal physically so they can heal emotionally and spiritually. And it really is such an honor to be doing God's work and spreading this light and truth. So today we're going to talk about the nervous system, and this is a really essential topic because I believe it's affecting every one of us because we live in such a fast-paced world in this time. So because of all the stress, and even if you're happy in your life, you more than likely are involved in many, many things. So first of all, I have to apologize. This week I've had an overload in work, so I've been getting a couple hours of sleep at night, which after a few nights of that, I always end up getting a cold because my body needs at least 4 or 5 hours of sleep. So hopefully you can understand me as I'm a little bit clogged up. So, so even so most of us have a lot of stress, and there are many of us who are facing some really hard trials, and that puts a lot of stress on our nervous system. But even if you have a good life, more than likely you're being stretched a great deal and running from this place to the next and being responsible for many different things in your life, getting up early, going to bed late. So what happens is it puts a stress on the adrenals, and that's a call for another time. I've talked about the adrenals in a different call, and if you're new and you're just getting these trainings, it'll come around where you'll get that one. But it puts a stress on the adrenal glands, which puts stress on the thyroid, which puts stress on the nervous system. And because our body is so interconnected, it really does put a burden on the whole entire body. So when the body is constantly under stress, it takes a lot of elements, it takes a lot from our body to be able to produce those adrenal hormones, to keep us going and to keep our body firing and up and going, and the nervous system communicating with the brain to keep us balanced so that we don't have a breakdown. Well, to be firing like that constantly, it takes a lot of nutrients, a high level of nutrient intake to produce everything our body needs to keep up with the energy and all of that. And so if we're not eating perfectly, it's going to be deteriorating our cells and our nervous system, our adrenal glands, our thyroid, and everything in our body. And even those that are eating really well, if we don't take time to be still and to meditate and get the sleep we need, just like I have this cold, I didn't get the sleep that I needed, although I'm eating perfectly. There's a lot of stress right now in my life with a lot of changes and some things that I'm doing. So your body eventually will break down if you don't take care of it properly. One of the best things that you can do is feed it proper nutrition, and that's in high vibrating foods, which is live foods, green smoothies, fresh fruit and vegetables, salads, lightly steamed veggies, whole foods from the ground, so lentils, beans, and whole grains. So that would be the first thing, is to feed your body what it needs. Drink lots of water, and I suggest putting some sea salt in your water. That really does help our body needs. So that takes me into how important it is to be intaking the proper cell salt. for our cells, which feeds our nervous system. So one good source to get that from is from kelp, and you can get that in a powdered form. You can get it in capsules. And so what's in there is the iodine that our body needs, and this and the sea salt, or the cell salts. So that would be something to consider. And then also you can get the iodine from black walnut. Now, I highly recommend, and many other natural educators would agree to this, that you don't take the iodine, isolated iodine. You want to take it from the whole plant, because there's other parts in the plant that needs to go along with the iodine so the body can use it properly. So black walnut leaf, you can make a tea out of it. You can make capsules. You can, I don't know if there's a tincture in that, but you can take the capsules, you can do it in tea, and you will get the food that your nervous system needs, and also that your thyroid needs, which helps your adrenal glands to heal, because everything's interconnected, and when one organ is healing, then it affects the other one. Okay, so another thing that causes nervous system disorders. Now, let me just mention what some of these disorders are. One is major irritability or light irritability. That means your nervous system does not have the nutrients it needs, potassium and the vitamins and minerals. So they actually really do start to fray, just like the bottom of your hair. You ladies that get your hair, use hot irons or get it colored and maybe don't take care of it as well as you should, or living in dry climates, you can see it get frayed at the bottom. Our nerves really do that as well. And it stops communicating with the brain properly. So the neurotransmitters are not able to communicate, and it makes us not be able to completely think straight. And that's how we get irritable easy, and we have breakdowns over things when, if we take a deep breath and be still for a minute, we can think better. So those nerves need to be healed, and through food, we're able to do that. Other symptoms of nervous system disorders are seizures, insomnia, tics, hearing loss, growths on our skin tags, and maybe cancerous growth on our skin or in other places. So those are some of the side effects of nervous system damage or disorder. So we talked about the food that can help with these, and I also want to talk about static buildup. So because we have so many synthetic man-made products now, we have this buildup of static electricity inside of us, because constantly through the top of our head, we are literally receiving electricity from the universe, from the sun, from that universal power, and that's what keeps us going, just like a battery, just like when you turn the lights on, there's a power source. And so we're receiving this power in through our pineal to the top of our head, literally. This is scientific, not just an opinion. And then it's dispersed through our chakras and our power stations in our body to where our body needs the power. So if we have synthetic clothes on and synthetic shoes, socks and shoes constantly, and then we come right into the house and we're on synthetic floors and carpet, we literally will get a buildup of static electricity, because once it's used, it needs to move out to the bottom of our feet. So I recommend what's called earthing or grounding, where you go outside with bare feet. The best is to go out for an hour, but I never have an hour to go outside. I rarely do, I should say. But even just a few minutes, the second your feet touches the ground, like the grass or the dirt, even the cement, you're able to release that built-up static electricity. There's a story that Dr. Christopher shares from the School of Natural Healing, where he worked with a man, or actually it was someone that was working with him. It was this man's father. And he wasn't able to sleep. He had insomnia so bad, and it was not only hard for him, but the caretakers, because he was miserable. He couldn't sleep. Finally got him he tried all these different ways to help him heal, and finally got him to take his socks and shoes off and go outside and walk around on the grass. And for the first time ever, he slept all the way through the night, and he was hooked and knew that he needed to have that grounding for him and for his body. Okay, so another thing that is really helpful for nervous system disorders is hot and cold therapy. So to get in, or even just to put your feet in hot water, then cold water, hot and then cold back and forth, stimulates the body and helps move toxins out, and it helps circulate nutrition to where it needs to be, and it's very healing. Also, to sit in a hot sauna or to go into a bathroom, shut the door, put a towel under the crack so that the steam doesn't go out, and turn the shower on to hot, 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 so that the room fills up into steamy. Sit in there, and then alternating, go out after like 5 minutes, jump on a mini trampoline or a mini rebounder. And that is a cellular exercise, and the gravity pulls on the bowel, pulls on all of our glands, our sinuses, our every cell in our body, and it literally just pulls and helps you detox your body. So going back and forth inside, where you're in the sauna or the steamed room, it opens up your skin, and your skin is the largest organ in your body, and it will open up and release toxins. And then to go out and jump on this mini rebounder. So I would go in and out at least 3 times. Now, it's important to make sure you're keeping the bowel moving 2 or 3 times a day, because if you're not cleaning out properly and you're backed up with waste, then everything else is going to be backed up in your body, your lymph system, your bloodstream, every cell in your body will be congested. And so that's important to be drinking enough water, keeping the bowels going. Okay, so I want to share a quick little story. So my son, when he was 2, he started having seizures, and unfortunately for him, it was a side effect. Some people don't have any side effects that they know of from immunizations, but this was back when I was first studying nutrition 15 years ago, and didn't really have a good feeling about doing it for my children. It's just a personal, you have to decide on your own, and whatever you feel is right for you. But for us, we didn't really feel good about it, but we went forward with it anyway because everyone else was doing it. We just wanted to do what was right for our kids. Well, our son had side effects, and he started having seizures, and it was one of the worst things that I've ever experienced, to watch my sweet little, in fact, I think he was 1.5. It was heartbreaking for my husband and I. And so, of course, we quit the immunizations, and the seizures continued because there was nervous system damage. We took him to the doctor because at the time I didn't have enough education to know what to give the body and all of that. So, no, the test came back, but they had no idea, what, in further detail, what was happening. They just wanted to put him on medication. We just didn't feel good about it, and it was a really strong feeling, like this will not be good for him, for him personally and his body. So, of course, I went searching, and I'd already started studying nutrition, and so I had some resources to pull from, and found that there was, through doTERRA oils and Dr. Christopher's whole herb formulas, that there was nervous system feeding elements in some of these supplements. And so we used the Serenity oil from doTERRA, which is very calming, gives the nervous system a break, and allows it to be able to almost like take a breath of fresh air and come back and be able to start communicating with the brain. So it was very helpful. And then also we used what's called the Nerve formula from Dr. Christopher's supplements, and we rubbed that along his spine and put it in his ears. This was a topical form, and then there also was a internal. There was a glycerin based, and so we gave that to him every hour in the beginning, and then as time went on, we went to 3 times a day. So on the outside 3 times a day, and internally 3 times a day. Changed his diet. And I wish I knew then how to work on his emotions. I didn't learn that till later. That would have been helpful. But we were blessed at the time for having faith in the body and following the inspiration we felt through prayer. So within a year, so the seizures slowed way down. And within a year, they were gone. And so he is 14 now, and he hasn't had a seizure for almost 12 years. But he does have still some nervous system damage. And so once in a while, when he hasn't been eating good, he's been playing too many video games, and hasn't slept well. Those are the 3 triggers for him. It affects him really quickly. And he'll start having tics in his face. Not bad, but bad enough where people have said things to him and he notices it and doesn't like it. And he gets really irritable and has a hard time paying attention. So we'll go back to using the Serenity and the Nerve Formula. Now, I'll do a triple dose of the Nerve Formula before he goes to bed. He'll just do it because he knows how helpful it is and how healing it is. So he'll clean up his diet and start eating better. He'll take a triple dose of the Nerve Formula when he starts noticing tics or noticing that it's having a hard time focusing. So with the tics, after that dose in the morning, the tics are completely gone. And it was to a point where, he had no control. It just was happening. It's pretty amazing what the body can do. And it's really important to be aware of what's going on the inside out and not just think, I don't know, my life is just out of control, or this is just how I am and there's nothing I can do about it. There's always something you can do about it. It's just a matter of finding what emotion it is you need to work on and be aware of, or what it is you need to change. Maybe clean up your diet a little bit better and look into some plant-based natural supplements, because your body's very capable, and those plant-based supplements are so powerful. So I want to move to, really quick before we end, some of the affirmations that you can use with nervous system issues. So again, some of those are seizures, tics, insomnia, hearing loss, growth. I didn't even get to go into, there have been many, many people that have used the Nerve Formula inside their ears that have healed their hearing. Even there's a story of a woman that was born without her hearing. And after being on the Nerve Formula for a year and cleaning up her diet and eating live food, that her hearing came back. Her ears healed. Also, there was a man who used the Nerve Formula on a growth on his face. And you can also do this with doTERRA oregano if you're really careful. It does burn, so be careful. He was going to have this big chunk of cancerous spot cut out where the mole was. And he decided, you know what, I'm going to try this Nerve Formula. And a lot of times the growth will get worse in the beginning because it's detoxifying. It's drawing out the toxins and the buildup from the inside, and then it will start getting better. And it went away, and he was able to heal that spot on his face. Is pretty cool. People that haven't slept in years, maybe for an hour or two, or sleeping and waking up all night, they've been able to, by changing their diet and using this plant-based food that feeds the nervous system, they've been able to deep sleep. And that's where you find peace and joy and clarity, energy to live the life that you want to live. So it's really, really worth the self-discipline of changing some things in your life to a healthy lifestyle, getting out and exercising, circulating your body, and all of that. So in Heal Your Body from Louise L. Hay, I always like to share with you what emotion is usually attached to the physical issue that we're talking about. So when you look at nerves or nervous system breakdown or nervousness, it talks about how it usually represents communication or receptive reporters, self-centeredness, jamming the channels of communication, fear, anxiety, struggle, rushing, not trusting the process of life. And so by using these affirmations, they are so powerful, more powerful than you realize, because it really does send a message to your body of, hey, everything's okay. You can calm down. And it's like, oh, okay, we're okay. You have to send that message. So the affirmations would be, I communicate with ease and with joy. I open my heart and create only loving communication. I am safe. I am well. And I am on an endless journey through eternity, and there is plenty of time. I communicate with my heart. All is well. If you've never done affirmations before and you feel like it's maybe a little bit cheesy or quirky or wouldn't work, I've been doing this for years. I grew up with a lot of anxiety and stress and fear, and it's changed my life to manage my emotions and to put positive in and to take the negative out. And so just try it and see how it can change your life. So I hope that this will inspire you to eat a little bit better and to recognize the power of the body and know that this world is full of millions of plants that are here to heal us. And if you have faith in them and you educate yourself and find the support you need, you can heal. If you feel like you need more support, more education, I have an amazing program put together that has helped hundreds of people, and it's full of content and support, and it's an amazing program. So you can respond to this email if you're interested in a free one-on-one to ask questions and find out more about that. I would love to help you. And have a wonderful day. Share this with anyone you think can use it, and we'll talk to you next week.